I'm cold now.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Moto, and we have an awesome opportunity today to be trying out an assortment of Sea-Doo's 2026 model year lineup. For those of you who are not in the know, Sea-Doo makes one of the most diverse lineup of personal watercrafts, of what a lot of people would call jet skis, but these are PWCs, and they make everything from comfortable cruisers like that GTX model over there, to wakeboarding models, that Wake Pro, adventure models like this Expedition here, and then super high performance models like this RXP-X right here. But the big news for 2026 is the inclusion of their 10.25 inch touchscreen, essentially infotainment being added on a large assortment of their upper tier models. So we're gonna see it on all sorts of the models here today. We're gonna talk about the functionality. We're also just gonna talk about how much you can do on so many of their machines here. So I think we're gonna start off on this Explorer model and then go for a little ride out here on Lake Havasu. Should be a beautiful day out on the water. So let's get to it. So here we are starting out on the Explorer Pro. Now all of these, aside from the Sea-Doo Spark, run the 1630cc inline triple from Rotax. This one coming in, this must be supercharged because it says 230, but not as dramatically as the 300 and 325 horsepower models. It's kind of cool how Sea-Doo just puts the number on, which corresponds to how much horsepower you've got going through the jet. But this one is designed for being kind of a go as anywhere you can on a PWC as possible sort of model. It comes with this windshield, comes with the kind of metal bumpers on the side, and of course the link system on the back, so you can put all sorts of different accessories. And we have this cool opportunity here to show you a real life use of this model from Adam. He does a ton of running around here on Lake Havasu with this exact built out Explorer Pro model. So you can see he's got built-in bumpers here. He's got, looks like some sort of camera case maybe mounted up front, big old lights. He's got the windshield as standard. Ooh, like an intercom system. He's got his 12-inch screen practically buried in there, or his 10-inch screen rather. He's got a fish finder, maybe some ergo handles, a phone mount. Man, he's got this thing rigged out. I think he's even got, yeah, some Wi-Fi on here, some extended tanks. Are these Link tanks? They are. These are Link fuel tanks, and then Link containers. So I could literally just take this, disconnect them, and connect them onto any of these other, most of these other Sea-Doo products. It's pretty sweet. But this is how you can see it, a little bit more of a blank canvas. And still pretty accessible. Popping on. Okay, so we do have the more comfort-oriented hand grips built right in here. That's pretty cool. Got our accelerator, decelerator, which we're going to experiment with out on the water. But this is the big party piece for 2026 model year, is this screen. Now we've seen this on the Can-Am Origin. We've seen it on the Can-Am Canyon, the Red Rock that we had. We saw it on the Skidoo backcountry that we rode a few months ago, and now we're seeing it here on the water. And it's essentially the same software, but with the phone connected right here, we've got a phone connected running the BRP Go app. I have full nautical charts built right in, so I can actually move around and I can see depths, I can see buoys, I can see names, see all sorts of information. Now I will say, upon initial impression here, I am a little bit far away from the screen, so myself with sunglasses on, the sun and everything, I gotta lean forward to, I still can barely see those depths. We'll see if it's a little bit easier maybe when we're out on the water. But what else do we got here? Let's swipe this to the side. And then we get a full opening here. It says I got 908 minutes to empty on fuel. Can, what, swipe this? Click this? No? Okay. We got our trim, fuel, battery voltage, runtime hours, and we can use these buttons. Media, we're probably going to pair up my phone later on so I can ride around, listen to some music. Volume adjustments. I think we're about ready to get riding. Let's start it up here. Ooh, what a quiet, refined engine note. So again, this is supposed to be the model that you ride for just going out and cruising. You got some wind protection, which I'm really curious how that's going to hit us.
I am already having too much fun. I haven't even gone over 5 miles per hour. And already I'm just too excited. So we're gonna bring our map back up here. Press this button, go over to navigation. And there we are. I kind of wish I could make it full screen, but let's recenter back on me. So you can see we're just running in neutral right now. Just kind of blip the brake, if you will. I'm just going to refer to it as a brake. It's the easiest way. I've got mirrors on here. I kind of need to adjust. That's cool. And it gives us still a little bit of steering, so I can kind of pivot the machine, but it does a really good job, actually, at keeping it static in one spot. So we're all just kind of idling, waiting here to roll out. A lot of stability here on this Explorer Pro, so you can see I can stand up. The thing balances itself nicely. I could even go over to one side, not worrying about capsizing it. Now, in the power sports industry, I've always loved the Rotax engines because of how refined and quiet they are. And if you're out here on a beautiful lake day like this, it's smooth, there's no wind, everything's quiet. You don't want to be listening to a loud engine as you run. So, I mean, this is just idling along. I could be sitting here talking with one of my rear passengers, no problem. Very, very comfortable. We are using the cruise control mode right now, which keeps us in no wake. It's kind of cool. You can choose between 5 different levels and just idles you along. Yeah. Which is good, so you don't get a little angsty, a little throttle happy as you're cruising. We do have a few different ride modes here. We can toggle from right here. We got Sport, Normal, and Eco. Might as well start the day off in Eco here, just to kind of experience what that's like if you did need to save some fuel for your ride. If you're going out for a really long exploring adventure. Coming into the end of our no wake. Now the real experiment here will be how long can I run this without ripping it around in circles, because that's what you got to do with these sort of machines. Ooh, yeah. Woohoo! Ha ha ha! Yeah, in eco mode, even if I go full throttle here, I'm getting about 34, 35 miles per hour. Very gradual power application. Nice light steering. Can we switch ride modes on the fly? Let's see. Yep, there we go, normal. Woohoo! Wow, I'm really impressed with the quiet engine. So about mid-60s for maximum speed. Very comfortable though. Using our map to kind of see some of our waypoints. We can also see the other riders on our map. Let's try the brakes. Oh yeah. All right. Slows you down pretty darn quick. All right. All right. All right. we go. So far, I really like the design right here, because even though this is not a performance model, I can kind of tuck my knees up under and hold myself. So if I'm whipping around, oh, it's no wake right here, okay. If I'm whipping around, I can still kind of support myself, use some core, it's nice. So we'll switch into neutral right now, and then you can see it actually is providing a little bit of back thrust to keep us situated. All right. So far I liked that. I liked the wind being protected, because for me, I like to cover big distances when I'm out on the water, but I don't love the wind blasting my ears the whole time. So it's been nice to have a little bit of prevention from that. And admittedly, I might be getting a little bit spoiled, because once I get on one of those without any wind protection, I'm gonna have a lot more wind blasting on my ears. So you can see some of the other models here. There's the GT-X, got an RT-X, the Fish Pro. I'm gonna go do a little exploring, I think. So this is the type of ride you would do on an Explorer Pro. You would go into these little caverns and you would explore. I mean, it's literally in the name. So we're gonna trim up a little bit, ride in. We'll follow the other Explorer Pro. Now, if I cruise down to L3, okay, so that actually takes us even slower than the idle speed. That's really nice. Oh, I would love to be out here with Alyssa, with Eve once she's older, kind of doing these sort of things, looking around. This is cool. And again, these models are so quiet that I could literally be talking to him and he can practically hear, because they're really not that loud at idle or running. So Lake Havasu is part of the Colorado River system, and a lot of these inlets were not water before the river was dammed up. So this would have just been a normal, I mean, it could have been water millions and millions of years ago, but before we came and dammed up the river in multiple places, this would have just been dry land. So we're essentially riding in a cavern that wasn't designed that way. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Duck. Hope you're having a nice ride this morning. Very cool. And again, we can zoom in these lower speeds with the nav here and actually see what our depths are to make sure we're running okay. Here we are in the water next to the Explorer Pro. I had to take a little bathroom break, and then when you want to climb back on, you got this nifty little handle. Kind of push down, get your foot up onto it, sort of a step, if you will, and climb right back on. Just jetted across the lake, and it was so smooth. I loved having the windshield. That part, absolutely fantastic. Woo! Just came off that pretty much 8 minutes of wide open throttle, cooking it right above 60. And this isn't just me shilling or anything like that. I've never been more comfortable on a jet ski or probably any watercraft at that speed before. And it comes down to this windshield. It seems so simple, but it's so smart to have a windshield on here, because at least me personally, I just don't like that constant whooshing sound of air and wind on my ears. This takes it away. I really like that. So I've been cruising. I'm gonna continue on, mess around for a little bit longer, and then get on to some of the next Sea-Doo units. So cool. All right, it is time to step it up quite a few notches here in the performance department. We are hopping on the RXP-X. This is the pinnacle of what Sea-Doo can sell you here from a performance standpoint in their PWC lineup. This one rocking the 325 horsepower supercharged inline 3 single seater that's supposed to really be able to hug you in, make it so you can whip around really tight. I am excited, and already can feel how much less stable the hull is, more ready to be playful. Have a good time. You can actually adjust where this seat clicks in order to really hug you in even tighter if you want to. That's pretty cool. Pretty nifty setup here. We're actually going to go out and get some drone footage here. So I'm going to do a little bit of raw first impression, and then do a little bit of the drone footage, and then ride some more. Again, so quiet though, the engine. Woo! Oh my! Oh Oh shit, my seat came off. Oh. All right, I think we're latched now. Oh, it's fun. Oh, I'm cold now. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ah. Oh my gosh. That's great. That really is. I will say it is a little bit more refined than I expected. It's still a fairly large ski. And it's still comfortable. It is not quite as lightweight and flickable as I kind of expected, but I really don't think I think I was naive to think that it would be. I mean, it is probably class leading in that regard. That's fun. That really is. Stopped here at the sandbar. We got a great opportunity to take a look at all of the different models. So you got your Wake Pro right here. This is running the 230 lightly supercharged tune. This is what you take out if you're going to go wakeboarding. You can have somebody kind of sitting backward on here and watching. You got the mirrors, obviously, of course. A little bit of link cooler action going on. And then the easy climb back up, obviously, back forward. Then you have the Fish Pro right here. This one has a neat functionality where you can actually pump fresh water into the cooler and kind of clean your fish off and your other elements and everything. You can see all your pole holders. This one, again, the longer haul, 2-seater configuration. Big, huge fish finder. This is new this year, 9-inch Garmin fish finder screen, so you can see how much larger and more detail there is there with that one. Still got the speakers and everything. Then you can see the RXP-X that we were on. You got the RXT-X, which is more of the 2-seater high-performance model, also the 325 tune. And then you see the Explorer Pro that we were running, and then the GTX that we might run. I think at the end of the day. I think we're going to end on this one. This one also giving us the 325 horsepower tune. More of the luxury model, though. You can put 3 people on here comfortably. You can rip around. Should be a very nice one. Look at the classy seat and everything. Here we are taking out the RXT-X model. So this is going to be if you want to have performance, but still want to take a friend or a family. In fact, I think you could do 3. It does technically say you could do 3 people. There aren't the 3-seat cutouts like we see on the GTX over there, but we're doing the space. Got the supercharged inline 3 and the more performance-oriented hull, just with a little bit more length and seat. Okay. Let's take a look at our points of interest. Let's maybe rip it up a little bit here. Oh, we need sport mode. There we go. Yeah, buddy. Woo! going under the London Bridge here in Lake Havasu, which when I first drove over yesterday, I thought it was just kind of a silly name or something like that, but no. One of our peers and colleagues here who lives in Havasu said this is an actual bridge from London. This bridge was brought over in the 70s as essentially a tourism stunt, a publicity stunt. But this was entirely reconstructed here in Arizona, and it's the second most visited tourist attraction in Arizona after the Grand Canyon. Fancy that, huh? You've got some kind of British replica buildings over there, English replica buildings. Ah, nifty. So this is getting near the end of our time here on the Sea-Doo models, and it's hard to argue against them, especially with this engine. I've been so impressed by it in every form, whether it be the lower horsepower models. Admittedly, I didn't ride one without the supercharger, but they were keeping up just fine. Or, yeah, no, because even the Explorer model I had, Explorer Pro, had the mild supercharger tune. But these higher performance ones, I actually teleported here to the RXT-X. Now, this is the fancy boy, so comfortable seat, little seat spots for 3 people, and still the 325 horse supercharged motor. I mean, they're all powerful, they're all smooth. And then with this tech package, the ability to be listening to your music, to be doing the navigation, and to see the screen so well, pretty darn nice. Oh, this one's actually giving me water temp too. Oh, and this is another thing I don't think I've talked about here yet today, but some of the more higher up models here, especially with these screens, have a feature that Sea-Doo calls IDF, and it'll actually clear out the impeller in case you get any muck in there or weeds or anything like that kind of on the screen. You can run the IDF and sort of push it out. Pretty cool. Now, compared to the Kawasaki's that we rode last year, I will say with the refinement of these Rotax engines comes a little bit less excitement. Oh, it's by no means a deal breaker, and to some people it's actually probably a pro, especially if I were getting one of these more luxury sort of models. I would want the extra refinement here of this one. But when I was riding the high performance model, I did kind of miss the supercharger whine and the kind of visceral feeling from that 310 Kawasaki that we had up on the lake north of here. Now, Adam Swords says that his buddy has one of those RXPs, and he put, I think, an exhaust and an intake on it, or just some sort of something that you can actually hear the supercharger and it wakes the sound up a little bit. And he said that makes a huge difference, and I believe him. I think that would really add to the liveliness. But yeah, pretty impressive machines here from Sea-Doo. Really happy to be on them. And despite it being well past 4:30 here, the day coming near an end, I'm still comfortable, still having fun. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on these, check the link below. I'm going to have a little no talking ride over on Winding Road Magazine. If that's done by the time this goes up, I'll put it up in the description below. You can check out our videos on the Kawasaki's that we rode last year. I'm going to hopefully be doing a little bit more PWC content. I want to get the Fish Pro out, take that out maybe into the ocean, spend some time with it, kind of talking about it and what it's capable of. And thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Moto, and as always, ride on.